Welcome to the channel. I gotta say, you manifested me if you're watching this right now. It means you're looking for something in your life, and hopefully, here's the answer today. I want to remind you to be authentically yourself, to show up to the world as who you are, and it's okay to not have all the answers. I've been in business now since October of 2019, and I started off buying real estate, doing something called wholesaling, doing fix and flips, buy and holds. And since I've started, I've been able to grow a seven-figure business. I have a seven-figure portfolio, and I've done a lot of things that would, quite frankly, blow my mind from when I first got started to where I am right now. However, even with the accomplishments I've had, I'm gonna have a confession with you right now. I don't have all the answers, nor does anybody. No one has it all figured out. Not your mentors, not your gurus, not your pastors, nobody. The only person that has it all figured out is God. And He put you here. So, you being where you are right now, listening to me, listening to this video, seeking answers is exactly where you're supposed to be. It's a part of the process. I'm reminding you this because oftentimes what happens is people stand still because they think to themselves, I haven't figured it all out yet. I don't have the perfect answer. Therefore, I shouldn't make movements. I shouldn't begin. I shouldn't start the process. And just think about how faulty that logic is for a moment. I want to offer you a new perspective. If the only reason we ever did anything was because we would already had it all figured out, we would have never done anything. Think about it. Steve Jobs, imagine if he said, I'm going to wait till I have the perfect iPhone before I release the iPhone. Well, clearly he didn't do that. Because if he did, we wouldn't have the iPhone 7, the iPhone 14, the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Plus. We wouldn't have continued to go through all those iterations. There's a certain level of good enough that you have to become acceptable with. You have to give yourself grace and allow good enough in certain areas of your life to be good enough because they start the process of iteration. It starts the process of refinement and getting better. And the first place to accept good enough is in your own being. The fact that you are here and the fact that you're listening to my voice right now means you are good enough. And I don't say that in a negative way, but it means you're perfectly where you're supposed to be. You're going to progress. You're going to continue to learn something new. You're going to continue to read books and have new experiences and meet new people and just gain new perspectives that you've never had before. Only if, though, you keep moving forward. Now's the time to keep moving forward. Begin, take action. When I started this podcast, for example, I didn't know how it would work out. I didn't know how to put camera angles. In fact, today I just discovered something new that I could take my iPad over here and have it mimic my computer screen so I don't have to run back and forth to start the video. I can just grab my mouse, grab a computer screen, and get the video started. But I wouldn't have figured that out. This is 3 weeks of me filming in the studio. I would not have figured that out had I not just begun. So I'm giving you permission right now to begin imperfectly. Begin making mistakes, begin learning, begin the process of iteration, begin getting better. Start. You don't have to have it all figured out. When I do business nowadays, here's what's funny, and people might think this is wild, but it's just the honest truth. I would say that with the success I've had building seven-figure portfolio, building a seven-figure business, and when I say a seven-figure business, let me clarify exactly what that means. It means last year in my business, we did over $1 million in revenue. So we had over $1 million of income coming into the company. Now, I did not get to keep all of that. We run margins at about, I would say we're about 50% margins on that particular business, which is still pretty good. And then I have a partner, so I split that with him 50-50. And so it's still the best year I've ever had in business. And I'm okay admitting that because I'm going to get better. I know people hear seven-figure business and they think I walked away with $1 million last year. I didn't. And one day I will. Maybe it's next year. Maybe it's this year. I don't know yet. However, I do know eventually I'll make that happen because I'm going to continue to iterate. I'll continue to get better. I'll continue to progress. And so when I'm doing business, I want to explain something. I feel okay taking action and moving forward if I have 10% of it figured out, just 10%. And that's honestly being generous. Honestly, if I get like 5% figured out, I'll start taking action. If I can see clearly where I want to go. If I have a vision of the future and I understand what the first 5%, really, if I just understand what the first step is, I'll start taking that first step. I don't need all the in-betweens. I just need to know A leads to B, and where is B? Point me in the direction of B. I'll figure out C, D, E, F, G, and all the other letters before I get to Z along the way. I want to remind you to do the same thing. A beautiful thing starts to happen when you learn how to make this movement based on only being able to see the next right step is you start to learn how to trust your intuition. You start to learn how to trust your gut. This is your God-given GPS. You've got an internal GPS. Let's call it an emotional GPS, as Oprah Winfrey would put it. There's an internal GPS that points you towards what it is you desire. You only get good at being able to follow it, just like learning how to navigate with a compass if you practice. When you're in the Boy Scouts, they don't just hand you a compass and expect that you know how to get where you want to go. They show you how to use it. I'm going to show you how to use your internal GPS. When you have a desire on your heart, I want you to stop. I want you to pray. I want you to connect with your higher self, connect with your spirit, connect with your soul, and ask for guidance. Ask, show me the way. What is the next best step for me? Where should I go? Start to feel called. Allow me to feel the calling on my life. Allow me to feel the calling on this next endeavor. Allow it to happen. And I know this sounds a little woo-woo. It sounds a little mystical. I get it. But humor me. Try it. Try it. But when you try it, put your heart into it. Don't just half-ass it. Don't just say, well, Marlon, I tried it. I sat there for 2 minutes with my eyes closed. It hasn't happened. Put your heart into it. Ask like you really expect it to be answered. Ask like you're talking to somebody. Ask in your heart. Ask with your heart. Like a kid sitting on the stoop waiting for his dad to come back. Just like waiting. Just, oh, I want to see my dad again. Ask with that level of desire. And listen for an answer. Sit silent. Let the answer come. The answer may come audibly to you. It may come as a feeling to you. But when you get something that you recognize, here's the hard part. Trust it. Go with it. Take the leap of faith. I'm promising you, take the leap of faith. If it doesn't work out, then you never have to do it again. What do you have to lose? I want to show you this is ultimately what has gotten me the best results in my life, what's gotten me the best relationships in my life, the best friendships in my life, the best experiences. This has been the salt of my life. I truly believe God's blessed us all with this internal GPS. And I just want to remind you to trust it because it can take you places. And I don't think you'd be listening to me right now if you weren't looking to go somewhere new, if your frequency weren't asking for more out of life. I truly do believe that. And so I want you to lean into that knowingness, lean into that intuition, lean into that gut, and begin to have that faith and trust. So I'm going to wrap this video up because I want to give you an opportunity. If you thought this video was going to go on 5 more minutes, do me a favor. Use the next 5 minutes for yourself. 2.5 minutes of asking, 2.5 minutes of silence, of quiet, of waiting, of listening. Do I want you to do more than 2.5 minutes? Of course I do. But if you only had 5 minutes to go, give it that. If you got value from this video, be sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be putting out way more content like this. And leave your thoughts in the comments below. I've been loving that people have been sharing their thoughts with me. People have been telling me what's been resonating, what hasn't been resonating, starting to connect with people all over the world. It's been absolutely amazing. And if you like these kind of conversations, if you're interested in your personal development journey, if you're interested in understanding your mind more, understanding yourself more, growing as an individual, growing as a business owner, growing as an entrepreneur, growing as a spiritual being, then go ahead and click in the description below. I'm going to put the link to our school community. This is a free community, 100% free. It's hosted on School. And inside there, we're doing weekly trainings every Monday. We're going over goal setting. We're going over personal development. We're going over sales tactics. I'm sharing all the things that I've been learning over the last 5 years of my entrepreneurial journey. I'm just giving it away inside there. So if you want to connect with that content, go ahead and click on the link below and I'll see you inside the school channel. When you jump in, be sure to introduce yourself. I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys, but I'll see you in the next video.